guys?
How you?
Doing pretty good. So I just finished watching season 1 through 12 with my mom, and over the past 5 months, so we always have something puzzling at the end of each DVD, and that was Supernatural can't be played in churches and such, and in that list was oil rigs. Do you guys know why or have personal thoughts on that?
What? You know about this?
What?
In the list at the end of DVDs where it says like the warning it can't be played in like churches, kind of given for Supernatural, but other venues and stuff, and in that list there's oil rigs. Do you guys know why?
Is this like a Warner Brothers warning?
I think so, yeah, that's probably part of it.
Wait, does anyone, what?
Does anybody else know about this?
Yeah. It counts as like a public broadcast, so it'd be like playing in the theatre or something.
Oh, it's like playing it in a theater if you play it in an oil rig. Sure, I get that. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's anything sinister. I think it's just some sort of a copyright law that is oddly includes oil rigs.
Well,
because Lord knows what goes on there.
yeah. Yeah, no, actually, we had some super fans on oil rigs for a while. And they just got out of control. There was they were doing some really kind of creepy cosplay stuff that finally we just had to ask them to stop.
They're not allowed to play the DVDs on oil rigs anymore now.
And obviously there's some guys on oil rigs that don't do that, but it was a big problem with a lot of them, and so unfortunately everybody had to get punished.
Glad we can clear that up for you.
Yeah, thanks for asking.
Hi.
I love that now there will be fan fiction about what goes on oil rigs.
Don't let us down.
No. Yeah. We will be using all of the proper Boolean search terms soon, so we'll find it. Hi.
Hi. I was wondering, as far as for the many years you guys have been filming together, what was the most memorable moment for you that changed from a working friendship to a friendship to making it a family?
I don't know if I can beat the question. That's a good
question.
It's a great question.
I have this thing that I do, which I think I've shared with you this before, but I have this thing that I do, which is every year around New Year's, I write down my goals. And I think it's like goals for the year, things you want to do for the year. And the year that I got on Supernatural, I wrote down the goal. The goal that I had that year was I want to be a series regular on a show with a cast that becomes my lifelong friends. And I don't know why I picked that thing to say about being on a show, because it really isn't necessarily part of a career move. But I did, and I was actually just thinking about that earlier today. It's like, that's really strange, because I actually feel like you guys and this whole crew, we're such a remarkably tight group of people. We love hanging out with each other. And it's been a gradual evolution to get to that point. Like, we all have grown to know and like and trust each other over time more and more. But I personally feel like we really have something very special in this cast, the extended cast. I mean, all the people that show up at these conventions are people whom I love. I love them. And it wasn't fast, and it didn't happen at a moment. We hated each other for quite some time.
Yeah, there was a moment when you were like, wow, when I make those lists, I need to be much more specific. It's a series of events, I think, that leads to friendships. You can meet somebody and right away have an instant connection. Or you can meet somebody and be like, that was a cool person. Wouldn't mind hanging out with them again. And then that opportunity presents itself. And then now you've just furthered that relationship. And because relationships need to be nurtured. And when you have a show that has fortunately been on as long as it has, you're able to nurture relationships properly. And I think that when you have the right people nurturing those relationships, you get friendships. And that's what we've found. And not only with, a few people, with a lot of people. I know. I feel you. One of the moments that, because he's up here, one of the moments that jumps out to me that was like one of those moments that kind of furthers a relationship into a friendship was he and I were getting to know each other. We went out for dinner out at where are we, Gastown in Yaletown. And we sat down at this table, and it was this really kind of cool bar, and the waitress came up and she says, do you guys know what you want? And Misha takes my menu out of my hands, takes his menu, hands them to her, and goes, we'll take the 3 least ordered items on the menu. Now, that would be fine if it was, a burger joint or a steakhouse or something to that degree. This was like a very kind of new age kind of a restaurant.
They had brains on the menu.
Yeah, you wonder why we know that. So we had that. We had sweetbreads, which is basically fried clams. And I'm like, man,
this friendship's gonna be a lot of work.
And I remember there was a piece of me that was like, I hate him right now. But I think I love him a little bit more too. Like that's just I think it's moments like that we've been able and very fortunately enough to have a lot of, and those really, they solidify friendships, and that's what we're very thankful to have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
I'm a little bit more nervous than I thought I'd be, so that kind of sucks. But
So is Misha. So.
Okay, good. So my friend Sydney was supposed to ask you this at DCCon. This is for Misha. Sorry, Jensen.
Fine. It's fine. You guys just nerve it out.
This was. What was your inspiration for the accent for Dark Empty? And
Ooh, yes. What was your inspiration?
was it your choice or the director's?
Was it my choice?
Yes.
I like the way you phrased that. Like, did somebody force you to do that horrible accent?
Did you lose a bet?
What happened? What went wrong to get me there? Is that what you're asking?
No, I love the accent. It was great.
That accent, I think, was remarkable in that there was definitely no thread that would connect it to any geographic location in the world. It was definitely nebulous. Not by design, just by pure
Let's hear a little bit of it.
skill. I don't even know if I could replicate it. Yes? Yes, yes. You like that water, do you? Yeah. You're like a gnat in my head, driving me crazy. And I am from an oil rig in the Atlantic. That's what it is. Actually, that's a classic Atlantic oil rig accent. That's why we don't let them act. That's the real reason we don't let them watch Supernatural on oil rigs, because they'll take offense at the accent. Thanks for asking.
No, what was the inspiration for that though? Were you literally just trying to think of the most annoying accent you could possibly think of, or? Or did you have a cold that day?
I was no, because I had to switch back and forth between.
It was very nasally.
It was really.
Like you're very up
Very-
here.
it was very-
For some weird reason.
It was,
I don't know why.
That was actually pretty good. That reminded me of that episode, The End, when you were playing two, like, future Dean and present Dean talking to each other. And there was this moment when you were sitting...
Yeah, but I wasn't playing different Dean. I was playing...
Yeah, but it was two Deans, but they were like slightly, you know, one had been...
One was just
the
5
future.
years into living in an apocalypse world. That's it.
Okay, whatever. Yes, admittedly, there was very little
I
nuance
didn't
between the
change
characters.
my voice.
I remember
For
watching...
no reason.
I remember you sitting on the ground. It was raining.
Ding, 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 ding.
It was raining, and you were sitting on the ground, and there was like smoke coming out of your ears when you were shooting that episode. Like you were like, "I will never do this again." You probably will do it again because they'll write a script and you have to do whatever they say. But it was really hard.
It's really difficult.
It was really hard, and the way we were filming that,
Did you
they
play-
kept on. They were like,
You need to do...
You know what? Switch characters. Switch character. I mean, like that. Like switch characters. Do it again, but do it as the other guy. And that's how.
So you almost needed that accent to differentiate
I needed
it.
something to differentiate it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
That makes sense.
Otherwise,
you would have been so...
no one watching it would have had any idea which character was which.
Right.
Which
That's
would have
true.
been confusing, and I wouldn't have known which was which.
That's true.
And I barely did as it stood. So,
I thought it was good.
thanks, man.
Hi.
Aloha, e kamo mai I Hawaii nei. Welcome to Hawaii.
I caught half of that.
Aloha.
In the past, Misha's sometimes done Gishwa's items like making Skittles into Jensen's face and so forth. What kind of Gishwa's item does Jensen wish Misha would make about him to torment him in the future? And on the other hand, what does Misha ever secretly wish that Jensen would unleash some kind of Gishi madness upon him?
I'm going to go ahead and not read into that last question, but
Again, I just understood about half of that.
so there's like a theme in Gishwas now, which is from the Skittles thing. Do you know the last one we did was paint your face on a single Skittle?
Yes, I remember
It was
that.
remarkable. People really can do that. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, they can write your name on a piece of rice.
They can.
Is there anybody here that can do that?
Amazing.
Is there anybody here that like rice writes?
Rice painters.
You got one over there? Yeah.
Liar.
Any others? All right. One out of this is not that bad. Yeah, that. Of course.
Obvious.
Have you seen how talented our fans are?
No, they're pretty good.
You know,
So can I tell you another story?
here's the one thing that I would say that would be my sweet revenge on him for the whole Skittle gate. I would say that of course this would take some cooperation, but I would say that whoever won needs to spend an entire day watching Jared mess with Misha.
You mean wins Gishwas?
Yeah,
That's the prize for winning?
not winning. I don't know how this thing works, so I'm just
Not winning. Losing.
losing.
The loser of Gishwas. I love the idea of having a new category. Like, your team is, of everybody, the absolute worst. And so you have to come and watch Jared torture Misha for a
Subject
day
yourself
on set.
to the horror. Yeah, I don't know. Skittles are pretty good, and there's a reason why I don't, submit ideas. Because they're either too dark, they're inappropriate, or they're just not good enough.
There was a the year that the mosaic of Jensen's face from Skittles was an item, and Jensen happened to walk into an electronics store where someone was like, you got to turn around, and one of the employees in the store had been was working on making a mosaic of his face, and he was like, what the hell is going on? How is that possible? So that year, this friend of mine actually was on a Gishwa's team, and he made a Jensen, he never watched Supernatural, had no idea, but he made a Jensen Ackles mosaic portrait in Skittles. And he's like, yeah, I thought, I'm certainly not gonna hang this up in my place, so I thought you should have it. And I was like, oh, thanks, and I stuck it in the closet. And then Vicky was like, a few months later, she's like, we have to get rid of that, the Jensen Skittle thing, because rats are eating the candies off it, and it's attracting rats. Which I
It's an
think
attractive thing.
yeah. Hi guys. How are you? Oh, boo! Hate you. Hate you.
I'd go for a little music.
So they turn so quickly.
What?
The audience.
Yeah. No, you're just coming out to add a little flavor, right?
That's right. We're just adding a little flavor. That's all we're doing.
That's all you're doing?
I gotta find my microphone.
Okay. Hey, buddy.
Hey, man.
How's it going?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
I told this story in our panel about Jensen, you're winning. This is my face when I'm winning. This is my face when I'm losing. This is my face.
Is this
Charming man to play cards
Is that cards? I recognize cards, Jensen. Yeah.
That's cards. Charming man to play cards with. Real delightful.
Rob was on my team one time playing cards.
Yeah.
I was there.
How'd that go?
He hit me in my arm. And I looked at him like this and I go, not me. Right?
True story.
Not me.
He made a wrong move, so I punched him. And with just the most intensity, he looks at me and goes, not me! It was like, not tonight! That's not happening!
Of all nights, on our special night.
It's not going down that road today, Jensen! Not on my watch! And I instantly was like, nah, I respect that.
Until it's so much better. But then again...
That is a bit butcher than your version, which was more along the lines of, not me.
Yeah, in all fairness, everything I say sounds like, not me. You tell a great story, Jensen.
But it was the first time that you literally, hey, not me! And I was like, all right.
Yeah. Just trembling inside. Please, God. This could go one of two ways. You tell a great story. Then again, you have perfect ear canals, so I wouldn't expect anything less. Do you guys know that story when the guy came out to measure his ears for these? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Not only do they know the story. Not only do they know the story, they're over it. So we have a special treat for you. Rather than have the band waste their precious energy, Jared Padalecki is going to play you off. Jared, play that song you wrote for the boys, and Rob will sing.
Ladies and gentlemen, smooth stylings of Jared Padalecki.
Padalecki.
Can we just agree, can we just do all of the conventions in Hawaii? This is great.
If you want to hang out, so right now what happens is we have a song we actually sing. You've never seen the end of the convention, but this is what we do. There's a song we sing. Stop it! This is what we do. This is the end of the band, and my time on the stage, Rob Benedict, is done. We're done. So if you know the song, join us. Take it, boys. Feel free to improv. It's the end of the con as we know it. It's the end of the con.